Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping in on our website. We're so glad that you decided to come and find out about Business Performance USA. And today, what this recording is about is growing virtual special interest groups. And it's produced by Business Performance USA. And as you see there, our purpose is to liberate human potential through trusted business relationships. Today, I am joined by my colleagues, co founder Victor Dominguez, myself, Cynthia Stewart, and Dr. Jefferson Stewart. All of us are co founders of Business Performance USA. We each own our own businesses. Victor is managing partner for a Ligature Group, hails from California. I am managing partner for Evermore Services, hailing from Tulsa. And Jeff is managing partner, first speaker, Board of Trustees, Board of Directors, C-Suite at JAS LLC. And we do many webinars. So this is in a webinar format, but we're going to stroll through a topic that we think is really interesting. And for this discussion, we're going to lead off with Jeff. Jeff, tell us about the virtual world.
Tell you about the virtual world. Well, that's sort of like pointing at the garden as we walk down the path together and saying, hello, we're walking down the path in the garden. Because in fact, what is happening in business today is is increasingly online, mobile, and obviously global. We all know that. It's a so what type of thing. But, the business relationships that we hope to build as we enter that virtual world have been slow to go, and we tend to characterize those that do work as being disruptive. Um, as I walk through the garden, the last thing I want to do is to see the rabbit eating my veggies, uh, the cat tearing down my flower, the dogs peeing in the herb garden. I don't want to see those things because that's disruptive. What I want is an accountable environment. And so the business relationships that we are after are accountable by nature. All of us want fruit from our garden, and we want to flow through the seasons and know how to take care of business. So accountability is more important than ever before. Um, Basically, the driver is something that long ago a philosopher named Søren Kierkegaard out of Denmark predicted. He said that until we get through what he called the category of the individual, that deep sense of who we are, and look the other side of ourselves, we'll never solve the world's problems. So here we are in the age of authenticity, where our individual existential issues are on the table in front of us day in and day out, and our desire to connect with others is intensifying day by day, and in fact has been doing that now for a couple of 3 decades. So we want to connect and grow, and we know that the drive to do that is going to grow and get greater than it has ever been in our lives and the lives of those around us. So the question at BPUSA that the founders have asked ourselves in the very beginning, and we still ask ourselves pretty much, oh my goodness, day by day, week by week, month by month, as we all struggle to grow businesses in this zero interest, flat environment. Um, we we ask ourselves, how do we foster growth-oriented relationships that are accountable? Thank you, Cynthia. I think I've gotten to the next thing, which is the answer that we have been debating now for several years. And I think debate is fair because we're all impacted by that virtual world. So in the sense that we're all impacted, I want to be sure to invite you and Victor to jump in on me here. I'm like a kid in a sand pile. If all of us don't work in the sand pile, then what's the fun of it, right? So,
So I'll jump in, Jeff. I appreciate that invitation and connect on the virtual world and the online community. What I look at when I see the virtual world is omnichannel connectivity on a multitude of touch points, yet at the same time, our ability to communicate with each other is almost degrading in quality and depth and on authenticity. So what we're doing here at Business Performance USA, and by the way, this is Victor Dominguez speaking. What we're doing here at Business Performance USA is leveraging both the virtual world, but doing it in a way where we are authentic in how we communicate with each other, and we want to create these online communities in regards to this slide here, where we can do that in both a virtual capacity and, when it's possible, in a real-world face-to-face capacity as well. But this isn't a location for just bumper sticker comments. It's really a place to collaborate, to communicate, to create, and to take the opportunities that we have in the business world forward by collaborating with other people.
Thanks, Victor. Did you have some remarks to add in regard to the current offerings that are out there, Cynthia, the predominant offerings in the marketplace?
Yeah, I have been involved in the LinkedIn groups and Facebook and Twitter follower, been a Twitter follower and a tweet, and Google Plus, and there are so many other social media outlets now. And we have formed this opinion that what we're trying to do is just not available out there. And we're not saying that these do not fill a need, but we see a need that's unfulfilled in the marketplace. And so that's really what we are about. So Jeff, tell us about it. I'm going to switch slides now. What is Business Performance USA offering?
Well, we like to think of it as a new, even better answer. And that's sort of like saying we've all got a washing machine and we've all got a cleaning product for that washing machine. And mine is now a new and improved cleaning product. So what I'm trying to get at here is that LinkedIn is out there, Facebook is out there. They serve unique purposes, and they've done exceedingly well, as we know. There's a huge pent-up demand for what they offer, and they continue to grow as they refine their business services and begin to bring them forward. The role of Twitter, of course, with Jack Dorsey now back at the helm, is shifting. And as he begins to develop that, we'll see him pull into the world of constant dynamic chatter, what we would now call the literate dimension of the news from any point on the planet at any time. So what Business Performance USA does is looks at these trends, and we say what we're missing is what we're offering. So we've come up with an offer: individually and socially accountable special interest groups. We have a general membership category, which of course is free. That is to say, you pay no money to join. You invest your time, your energy, and your relationship building skills, and you move into special interest groups. These ultimately, we hope, will lead to mutually beneficial and sustainable successes. And I'm not going to say a lot about business information exchanges, BIX as we call them, because they don't exist online yet, but they will exist inside our platform as part of the services we offer, because BPUSA is a platform as a service, and the service is provided by members to members as much as it may be by the technology. So we're addressing the existential transformation of individuals who are professionals in the world of business, and their interests and the value each person's interests bring to the others. Anybody have any comments?
Yeah, Jeff, Victor here. And when I think of the term special interest group, special or specialization is really the key for me, because for senior executives, even middle managers, entrepreneurs, business owners, we live in the age of specialization where we need to refine our unique skill set and fit that in with a broader team. So when I look at the current social media sites, and as good as they are, I'm a big fan of LinkedIn, for instance. It's the lack of depth and substance that limits my interaction with that tool, that platform, if you will. What I know I need to do is get deep into my specialization and find others with whom I can collaborate so we can create a value chain within our own businesses, within the companies we work for, or the organizations we volunteer for. So that's the whole point of the specialization and this opportunity here for people to join us, is to really find clarity in what we do as a specialized executive, and how that specialization, that skill set, both hard skills and soft skills, provides real value to the bottom line of our organization, and how that fits into the value chain of people we have to work with. So that's, to me, the unique difference between businessperformanceusa.org and other more, and I don't mean this demeaning, but other more superficial interactions online in the virtual world.
I agree with that, Victor. I think that specialization is so true, such an important part of business performance. I'm sorry, of what people are looking for today. And as Jeff said, we won't be talking too much about business information exchanges. We would say it's another tier. It's a higher tier of more engagement. So we're really focused today on special interest groups, and a little bit later we're going to go ahead and show you those that are getting teed up, and give you an offer to form your own if you'd like. So with that,
Yeah, I really, really like what I've heard from the two of you. Obviously, specialization has been around for quite a while, so I could comment for a long time, and obviously have, particularly around the area of job obsolescence, which I'm more than eager to engage with anybody who wants to. In fact, some of the leading inventors and venture capitalists that I deal with on a daily basis are now picking up my language after 20 years. And the issue of job obsolescence and planned job obsolescence in the age of authenticity is at the center of their very tip of the spear discussions. So what are the benefits for people who join BPUSA? First of all, you'll do better at building accountable, trusted business relationships as long as you commit yourself to building relationships. And what we hope to do is to help you secure a trustworthy professional environment to do that. Second, as you do that, you'll learn to be more specific, that is, like special, in identifying and working on shared interests. I honestly don't care if we've got a dozen, like we'll talk about in a minute, or if we end up with a Googleplex of them. It could be an entire universe of special interests as far as I'm concerned. The idea is to keep the platform running as a service that helps you make specific gains among parties who are mutually engaging each other. And finally, as a result, to foster a real growth-focused networks in a virtual environment, so that the relationships that you're earning with others through your accountability in focus will eventually lead you to find sponsors in your business development. And the reason we come at that is because everybody's a player, and the word sponsor comes from the word to play. So people enjoy the game, the great game of business, if you like to quote Jack Stack, and they need to enjoy their work. After all, my grandmother wasn't wrong. When you work at what you love your work, and the joy that you share with those you work with becomes enjoyable for those who are seeking work as well. So in the end, practice doesn't make perfect, but practice is perfect. We are the practitioners, and I think that by bringing a practice-focused attention to business performance helps us be better people and intensify what some people love to call human capital. So we have a dozen SIGs that are forming up at the end of this year and throughout next year. Already, these names may change. They're sort of put together to give people an idea of what's already on the deck for consideration and development. Um, One of those is the idea to institute conversational fundraising. How is it that we just work in a normal, natural, authentic way with people who really have the wherewithal to give and to put into good actions for the benefit of others? Um, that could be for-profit or nonprofit. So another would be veterans coming home to work. Um, Obviously critical, and I'm getting a signal that Cynthia would like to speak.
Yeah, I'd like to go ahead and talk with you about some of these. If you are engaged with veterans or you like hiring veterans, this is a perfect place to come and interact with veterans and get to know them. We're looking to help veterans find work when they come back and help them transition. There's things about your strategic career advancement, and Victor is very interested in this arena and helps many executives as they transition from one corporate location to another step in their careers. Or maybe you're looking for ideas to put to work through emotional intelligence, or maybe you care about changing your world one leader at a time. Maybe you care about. I'm looking for the one we have. Decide for your digital return on investment. We have someone who's is well entrenched in the digital world and can really help with return on investment there. So we have
Yeah, I'd
lots.
like to jump in on that one, Cynthia, because most people make bad decisions in a world that they're unfamiliar with. So how do you go from there? Well, it's an adventure. And like any venture, you have to fail frequently in small ways early and don't repeat your mistakes very much, at least insofar as you've already learned how to do things better. So deciding for your digital return on investment means basically learning as you go and not making the same mistakes over and over and over again, which by definition is a form of ill health or insanity.
And Victor, I know you have some that you'd like to talk about.
Sure, thank you, Cynthia. It really comes down to, in regards to the special interest groups, and you can see a diversity of options there, if you will, options for participation, is that it provides three things, or three reasons for people to come together. And first and foremost is to unite on shared beliefs. If you really believe in serving our veterans, this is a forum for you. If you really believe in developing the virtual digital aspects of your company, this is a segment for you. So coming together on shared beliefs, and then identifying your own functional skill sets, hard skills, soft skills, and collaborating with other people to really enhance those and what we like to call liberate those skill sets based on your principles in business, your best practices in business, and really strengthening your functional skill set, and then together acting in unison with a common purpose. So it's really coming together on shared beliefs, your functional and soft skills, and then uniting and acting together. And all of those are really critically important. Without the shared belief, you won't be passionate about it. But action and united action, coming together and working out an action plan, what are we going to do about this, is really the difference that this community makes. It's not talk, it's action that makes the difference at the end of the day. And those are the three aspects that fascinate me and compel me to participate in this.
Yeah, Victor, I couldn't endorse that set of views more strongly. You know, we have our logo um, in fact, our renewed logo in the lower right-hand corner of this slide. It is a bee. For a long time we thought a lot about all the work we do together, and we thought about the bee as a worker bee. But as we got into the environment that we're into in the physical world, we realized that the food chain that we rely on is not too different from the economic value chain that we hope to create. It takes pollinators, and bees are the most notable of pollinators. Of course, there are many pollinators besides bees out there, but these are the ones that we have begun with. And so our by phrase at this point is pollinate and collaborate. Basically, get on with sowing the seeds and work together at tilling the garden. As we walk down this garden path, let's not just sing a pretty song and ignore the weeds. Let's realize that those who work in the garden work hand in hand with creation. And that's something that we do with each other. We are the creators of our world, and we are those who are naturally driven to sustain economic advantage for the benefit of all people in it. So, for example, I'm going to run a SIG on CSRs and corporate social responsibility, and how business value is driven increasingly by that on a global scale. Cynthia is an expert on lean excellence and how it turbocharges cultures without being disruptive necessarily. And that is a unique view, a very specialized view. We have others that are obviously going to talk about how assessing a corporation is something that you take to the bank today. It's not something that you do simply because it helps you with some personnel relations. So putting ideas to work through emotional intelligence, of course, we think about that in small groups, but have you ever thought about that in the culture at large? What would happen if the leadership in their teams, in the culture at large, brought emotional intelligence to the conversation in the public domain? Our ideas might actually work out to something that would benefit everybody, not be frozen and locked in a flat growth world. So change your world one leader at a time, begin with yourself, and expand your market reach exponentially. That's what we're about. Victor is the great expansionist on market reach, and we love him for it. So let's skip to how you get engaged.
Yeah, so there's really just 3 easy steps. When you go out to our website, businessperformanceusa.org, all you have to do is look for this button and you can become a member right there on our sites. It's very simple. We don't ask 20 questions. All you have to do is put in your name and an email address so we have some contact information. And then it's so easy. You can go out to the site and engage with people on the site, the community that's joined already. You can bring your peers in and you can participate in those SIGs where you have an interest, either one or more. It's really up to you. If you have a SIG that you'd like to form, you can do that. You can form your own SIG. And all you need to do is contact any of the founding members here today, Victor, Jeff, and myself. So it's very easy to become a participant, to participate with us in these SIGs. All you need to do when you want to contact is Victor, Cynthia, or Dr. Jeff at businessperformanceusa.org. You can find us certainly out in the community as well when you become a member. And with that, let me open it up for Jeff, or actually Victor. Let's hear from you real quick before we wrap up.
Yeah, this is both a virtual touch and a high touch opportunity to work with us. And I'm always a big advocate of just reaching out, and start with a high touch, if you will. Just talk to one of us, send us an email, and we'll set up a time at your convenience to have a discussion about where you can bring your career passions, your business objectives, and your social commitment into this organization. It's as easy as can be. And we'll talk to you about it. That's really the best way to understand where your life, your career can intersect with Business Performance USA. and get to know us on a personal basis. Virtual doesn't have to mean impersonal. We actually want to reverse that common experience. So just simply reach out to us. It's a simple email, and we'll start the conversation.
Very good, Victor. I will just play with that one more step and begin to wrap our conversation today. Virtual actually could be virtuous. When we are all doing our best at what we love to do the most, and we do it for the betterment, in fact, the best interests of others, that's kind of like best to the third power. That's highly virtuous. We move from being simply uh, I don't know, versatile as professionals into a world where we respect the virtuosity of those we work with day in and day out, and we really rely upon that in an open and authentic way. So reach for us, become a member, watch our webinar series that are out there. We've got over 80 videos at this point that are out there on different topics, and you'll be seeing more events, not just webinars, as the year comes along. Next week on December 8th, Mary Putnam, who owns and is the geek whisperer, if you like, for Design Your Site LLC, will present another webinar in her series from this fall called Website Credibility and User Conversion. Isn't that an interesting idea? That if you're believable and virtuous, that somehow people who use what you sell will convert in your direction. Yes, the
And of
ironies were
course,
intended.
sorry, Jeff. Of course, if you can't make that webinar, the beauty of it is that webinar and all of our webinars are recorded and posted on our website. You can watch on demand. There's over 80 webinars right now, so a treasure trove of information, of course, including Mary's multiple webinars she's already produced. So watch us live, watch us on demand, whatever works for your busy schedule.
Thanks for stopping in, folks. And with that, come see us. Bye-bye.